Hi everybody, welcome to the Soulful Soul. My name is Gladys and this is a special 2021 pick a card reading. I wasn't able to do one last week, but this one I'm using the Celtic cross and looking at themes. So they've all turned out a bit shorter than usual, but they are quite in-depth. If you like this, you might want to have a personal reading. If so, you can find me. I'll put my email address below, or you can find me on Facebook at Soulful Soul. If you like the way I read, please like and share with other like-minded souls, and please subscribe if you haven't. I'd love to hear your comments about how this fitted for you, you know, if it made sense, and like what you got out of it. Okay, you will see the cards now. Bye. Okay, everybody, so these are your choices. I thought I'd make things a little bit difficult for you. These are all clear quartz. So group one will be this beautiful beaded rhinoceros, and this piece of clear quartz. Let me see if this slide works better. That's your clear quartz. That's your rhinoceros there. Group two, Tree of Life pendant with this piece of clear quartz. Group three is this beautiful cutie pie owl. Oh my, this beautiful cutie pie owl with this piece of clear quartz. And this paperclip with this piece of quartz, clear quartz, clearish quartz. Right. Group one, group two, group three, and group four. The kettle, the teapot, I mean, is there for decoration. My niece gave that to me. My niece gave that to me as well. And my little godson made this for me. So make your choices, and I will see you will see the cards on the other side. Welcome back, group one. This is your special year's reading. I'm going to look at themes. I'll do the Celtic cross and then look at themes for the year. What's your main theme? What could be working for you? What you need to watch out for? Your mantra. Your theme. Yeah. Key advice for the year. What's working for you? What could work against you? Your mantra for the year ahead. Key advice. What's working for you? What's working could work against you? And mantra. So, group one, you have the Knight of Wands. So it's might be a very active year. You know, this says to me that you need to balance your big thing for you would be balancing that action, because it's likely to be a very busy year, very passionate year, a year of action, and you need to always balance with that, taking time out. I love the green at the back and the blue, it's very peaceful. So it's making sure to take time out, whether it's going into nature or meditating or just simply relaxing. taking time out, balancing that energy, what you need to think about is, well, the moon is I think it's about allowing the mystery to unfold. Like, you're going to be busy. Just trust however things unfold. You might need to confront fears. What are your fears? Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of this King of Wands passionate energy within you? But I think mainly the lesson is just going with the flow, kind of letting the moon, maybe you'll work a lot with the moon, the cycles of the moon, which really does help, I think, with going with the flow, because you kind of do this infinity thing, right? Because full moon, new, letting go, allowing, letting go of things, allowing things to come in, So maybe that's a really nice thing for you to work with for the year ahead. I think that's really lovely. In the past, you have this energy of the Six of Swords, and it's like feeling stuck, feeling like you're stuck in the murky water. But I think that's going to change, or I think it's already starting to change, because you've got this lovely energy of the King of Wands in the center. It feels like a lot of action happening. And then below the surface, it's just, again, that warning beneath the surface is not to take on too much. You can put those down and carry them two at a time, right? Look, he's even dropped some because he's carried too much. They've carried too much. So it's about resting, and also about not taking on more than you can chew, not biting off more than you can chew. So I think that beneath the surface, there is maybe a workaholic tendency that you need to look at. Here we have the page of Wands here. And I love this page of Wands. Maybe that's your lesson, because this represents you in this reading, in the spread. Maybe this is your big thing, learning to take time out. I think that's a big theme here, taking time out. Interesting, the theme here is the page of coins. It's like appreciating what's around you. So I think this is what your big lesson will be for the year ahead. I think that's lovely too. You have in your near future the King of Swords. So perhaps you are going to be more decisive, more make choices and decisions from the head more. Maybe that's what is needed for you, especially if you have the Knight of Wands there. You've got the passion, and but you also need to make very clear cut decisions, wise decisions with the wolf there. I mean, the King of Swords is wise, is very much the head king. So perhaps that's what is indicated there. Around you is the Star card, the Star of Hope, the Star of Healing. So something's being healed within. This is the card of Aquarius. It's such a beautiful card. Like, even the tears are healing tears. So something within is being healed. Some big thing, I think, is being healed. And then your advice is the Knight of Swords, which is about cautioning, maybe for the whole year, is, okay, am I speeding too fast now? Am I going too fast? Maybe there will be times when you have to go fast, but always when you find yourself out of breath and rushing, to just take a step back and go back within here. Do this. Yeah. And then your outcome card is the Eight of Wands, which these two things here is the Eight of Wands is about manifestation, making, you have been doing all this work and doing that flowing. There's a lot about that yin yang, that harmony thing in your reading. about finding that balance. No, there isn't. I'm thinking of the previous reading, but why not? There's the two pillars. There's the two with the star card. There's the two kings, the man. You know, I did that reading the other day about the solstice and the new and the conjunction. And this is the strong message that I got, is to temper the passion with the intellect, and likewise to temper the head with passion. When you feel you're doing one too much, think about the other, see how you can balance it out. So this is beautiful, really lovely. And this is talking about like having done all this work. And if you're going with the flow, it's like a promise of fast communication possibly coming in that you've wanted. But look at the productive fertility of these wands. It's like all your work is now bearing fruit, and these wands are coming from heaven onto earth. And the symbology of that is simply this, that those things that you've worked hard for are now bearing fruit. You did the sowing, and now the spring is coming, and those things have to bear fruit. That's what it is. Now let's look at this row here. Your theme for the year ahead is the page of Pentacles. For me, in this page, the page is a new beginning, new financial beginning, new beginning in terms of something solid, abundance, earthy, grounded energy. But in here, this person is looking at the coin with pride. Here's my thing that I created. So perhaps that's what you need to keep stopping and smelling the roses and taking time out to see and check on your, not check on your creations like, are they growing? But just to pat yourself on the back. But also what I see in this card is this thing of wonder, looking at your achievements with wonder, appreciating them. I think that's your theme for the year ahead. And what's working, what your advice, did I say the advice? Yes, your advice, the Five of Pentacles. Wow, look at that. The child is leaving home because it's tired of the parents arguing. And you get that in the reverse. But as advice, it's about you not holding on to things. Perhaps you have a tendency to give people, hold on beyond the due date kind of thing. So maybe that's something you need to think about. Just keep that advice in your head. Am I holding on too long to this thing? Is it serving me now? Or do I need to move on to the cups that are standing, focus on the things that are good for me? No? And that can apply in so many different ways. It can be addiction, it can be people, it can be whatever, where you hold on to the things that are over instead of looking at the things that are there, that are coming in or are present for you. And then what is working for you is this. There you go. I feel like this is your ability to juggle for the year ahead. Look at that. There's that infinity, that being able to balance the different aspects. And for me, it comes back to these two kings. How powerful to have those two kings in your energy, Nice. And I think that even though this is a near future, I think see it as part of your everyday presence for the year ahead. So what's working for you is this ability to manage the different aspects of yourself, and trust that you can manage when things are intense and when it requires a lot of action, and when it requires that you know how to balance that. Time to step back, time to move forward, time for my King of Swords energy, time for my King of Wands energy, like that. And then what you need to look out for, what might work against you with the Ace of Cups. Maybe a dreamy quality. If you look at this Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups is an offer of love. And I think that perhaps your caution is just to be, you know, loving yourself. It's that self-love thing, being absolutely careful in yourself, self-love, doing loving acts towards yourself. And maybe also be aware of something that appears as love that might not be. You know, I think that's just a caution. It doesn't have to apply to everything, but you might be one of those people that's offered lots of possibilities of love, you know, and it's just being careful. Or it could be just a simple advice that when we love ourselves, that opens ourselves up to being loving in a free way, in a more balanced way with others. And then your mantra. Wow, this is working hard. You are working on something, and you're working diligently and patiently, which is clear with these kings here, especially with that King of Wands. I guess this is the caution to remind you that it's slow but steady wins the race. And maybe that's your mantra for the year ahead. Slow but steady, slow but steady. I think that is so beautiful, and you can just picture that in your mind's eye, slow but steady. Okay, group one. I'm going to leave it there. I think that's quite a lovely, clear reading. I send you lots of love. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this and share with others. Maybe they'll get something out of it. Also, if you want to look at your personal reading, we can do that as well. Do the same kind of thing. It's really lovely. I did one for my brother and he just loved it. I do them interactively. I think it's about what's here, what's now, what you can work with, and it can be really beautiful. So let me know. And if you like this, let me know your feelings about it. Yeah, I would love to hear more from you. Send you lots of love, beloveds, and have a wonderful, wonderful year. But of course, I'll be in touch throughout the year. I'll be in touch on the weekend anyway. Okay, lots of love to you. Bye. Okay, and let's use these. Theme. Key advice. The ahead. Wow, lots of action. What's working for you, or what could be working against you, and mantra. The ahead. Okay. So, 5 of Cups. So this looks like a willing participant that's taking the 2 cups in their hand and is ready to move away from the 3 cups. So perhaps you in the past held on too long to the 3 cups, and now you're seeing those 3 cups for what they are. You're starting to see clearly, and you're realizing that these are the 2 cups. What is worthy and what is not worth your while is becoming more of present for you. With this card, you know, it's such a double-edged sword, both upright and in the reverse. It's like being independent, but not sure you want that independence. So I think that might be something you need to think about, is how do you balance independence with being able to ask for help, being able to need other people, and being able to be willing to express that. And I think that is related to this. Now you started on this new journey of valuing those things that are standing. So how do you show appreciation? By opening your heart to ask when you need it, right? With the 6 of Pentacles, I was just looking at this card earlier, and you know, the 6 of Pentacles can be about equal give and take, but in this, most of the depictions actually, there's one person giving to 2. And this is what you need to think about. I think you need to think very much about this give and take for you. What does give and take mean for you? Are you the one that's always giving, or are you the one that's always taking? Because even though this is about balance, 6 is about balance, this card can be a challenge to you to start finding that balance. Where do you feel like a victim? Where do you feel like a persecutor, for want of a better word? And I think this is really nice energy for you to be working on. Just think about that for the year ahead. I think that's a key thing. In the near past, you had death, and maybe this, but death in the reverse. So it's almost like waiting for death. And maybe it's about COVID and how it's played on your mind, you know, it's that waiting for something to happen. But I think you're releasing that energy now. Also because you have the Page of Swords in the upright in the near future. And that is like, to me, wielding this mighty, mighty sword of cutting out stuff that doesn't serve. It's like a new beginning, a messenger of hope, enlightenment almost, you know, like you're going to see things differently. And you need to open yourself to that. And then you have the Page of the Knight of Wands here in the unconscious. Now, the Knight of Wands generally speaks about rushing energy, but in here he's not really rushing. And the Knight is on an eagle, which is a bird of wisdom, and from that vantage point can see things. So beneath the surface, perhaps you are learning not to rush into things. Or knowing when it's time to act and when it's time to retract. That's maybe what you are learning. It comes back to that give and take thing. So that's, yeah, this is in your, I feel like I need to get a clarifier for that. I haven't done that for anyone else, but I think that will be really good because it is in your subconscious. So it's something really important, you know. You get the world. It's like, it's about ending some kind of cycle. I think in the unconscious, what is happening is you are really ending a cycle of rushing in and out, of taking too much or giving too much, of knowing who's good for you and who's not good for you. You're coming to the end of a cycle of unclarity about those things. And it's really wonderful. I think that's what's beneath the surface for you, because then look at you coming in as the card, you know. This is the High Priestess. So I think that maybe, and look, there's baby Jesus there. That's so interesting. It's like Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of Jesus, and baby Jesus. But look how mysterious the High Priestess is. And I think that you might be doing a lot of work on unpacking mysteries for yourself in the year ahead. Beautiful, beautiful. So perhaps you'll be working a lot with the High Priestess. Just remember, with the High Priestess is when you are ready, that is revealed to you. Whatever you are ready for, it's revealed to you. And you also have to do the opening up, the work and the internal work. And I think that's what you're going to be doing. What's around you is this, again, it's this time, this taking time out to smell the roses, taking time out to appreciate everything around you. In the reverse, it could just be a caution then. Maybe this is just saying that, yeah, don't rush, don't rush. But it could also be someone coming in to lighten, someone playful coming into your life. Not necessarily, but this is what's around you. So it could be someone playful, and maybe you need to learn from that person about taking time to, maybe there is someone in your life that's like this. Maybe, you know, if you look at this Two of Wands, the person is stuck by their feyness, they take things too easily in a way, and that's keeping them stuck. So perhaps you are becoming unstuck from that place of inaction. Perhaps that's what's happening. And you know, that's a 2 and that's a 2. So there's some relation to that. Maybe you felt stuck in your spiritual journey and you're becoming unstuck. And then you have the Queen of Swords in your advice. How amazing, because I feel the Queen of Swords is quite related to the High Priestess. But the Queen of Swords is being able to take no bullshit. To stand in your, you know, it's about total honesty. It's about cutting through crap. It's about speaking your mind. It's about honoring your truth. And that's what your advice is. And it so comes back to all of this, is not allowing yourself to slip back into, you've learned those lessons now. You're moving into other lessons now at a different level, at a deeper level. So just keep reminding yourself to let go of that. Look at this where you give too much or take too much. You are having lessons about that, and lessons about holding on to things that are not good for you and ignoring the things that are good for you. And you've learned your lessons about that, you know. Also your lessons about asking for help when you need it, and not trying to be too independent and feeling that that's a badge of honor that you have to wear. Because that cycle is closing now. And you're moving into this cycle now of clearness, clarity. And I think the clarity is in your head. So it can be with work. Maybe you are in a field where you have to use the head, you know, intellect a lot, should I say, like words. It could be studies. You might be a student, lecturer, teacher, researcher, someone who works a lot with words, but with the head a lot, with an analysis. And perhaps you're getting a lot of clarity in projects and things are, you know, you're also learning how to be more honest with everything. And I think that this is happening on a spiritual level as well. Sorry. That's the Queen of Swords. I think it's clear. It's really lovely. So let's take that. And then in your outcome card, so this feels like tiredness, like towards the end of the year, you might feel like you have to stand up for yourself. You have to fight hidden enemies. And there's a lot of fear there, but I don't think it's anything to worry about, really. It's just maybe feeling tired. And always I remind with this 9 of Wands is that this is all the stuff that you've accomplished. You can see it as your the lessons. You can see it as having benefited you, or you can see it as a burden. And you can choose how you see that. But everything that we've learned, everything that's gone before, is a teacher. So, and it just could talk about feeling tired, but you know, that's projecting too far into the future, and it's really not anything serious to worry about. So that's that. And then let's look at your theme for the year. This is why that 9 of Wands would come up. I think you're going to be really passionate. You are having new beginnings. You're going to be very in action mode, action, making things happen, new projects, new initiatives, new, fertile new things. Beautiful. That's your theme of the year. It's like accepting the offer, the hand of God, almost a goddess, you know, accepting that that's offered to you. But it's you also creating these things. You're going to be very much in creative mode. That's what it suggests to me. And then the advice again is, you know, I'm reminded of this again. You can work yourself to a standstill and then create imagined fears, or you can work and take a break every now and then and appreciate your work. Appreciate what you've created. This page has an innocence about them. They're looking at their own creations with wonder, and it seems to be a recurring theme. Group 1 also got that. So that's your advice, is take time out to appreciate what you do, or else you will get burnt out, you know. What's working for you is the Queen of Wands in reverse. I think that's the same thing. Queen of Wands is passionate, believes in herself, very confident. And I think that maybe working for you is, I think it comes back to that being able to ask for help when you need it, that you don't have to be completely independent. I really think that's what it is. Working against you, that could work against you, is the Knight of Cups in reverse. So, you know, group one got the page of Ace of Cups in reverse, and you get the Knight of Cups in reverse. And it's almost like love is the thing that can put a spoke in the works. But what I think it is us offering love to ourselves and being conscious of self-care. I know that's self-care is more about the inner work that we do to build ourselves. And that's what you need to be doing, is constantly looking within and saying, am I loving? You know, it goes back to that card. Am I appreciating myself? And perhaps it could be not closing yourself up to offers as well. Maybe, let's see. And then your mantra for the year ahead, Eight of Swords. You can think of one, but let me see what comes to my mind. Here's a lovely one. I am freer than I think I am. Because this is an imagined trap. I am freer than I think I am. Oh, I think that's beautiful. So let me leave it there, group two. If you want a personal reading, this is a general one. If you want a personal one, we can do something like that. I did one for my brother today, and he just loved it. And what I do is I interact with you with the readings. It's not just like prediction. It's more about what are the lessons of the cards and how does this make sense for you, and you making sense of them as well. So if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. Please share with like-minded souls. I really want to grow my channel. And give me your feedback. I'd love to see your feedback in the comments. And if you want a reading, let me know. I send you lots of love, group two, and I'll chat with you again soon. Bye. I'm back, group three. Okay, so you get my favorite card, cross my strength. Let's just put them out. Okay, let's see. Oh, and then let me put out your theme for the year. You want to get two cards, so I'll put the two cards out. Advice, key advice for the year ahead. What's working for, might be working against, and your mantra. Beautiful. So this is life, healing, sunlight, nature, serenity, spirit. Love is love. So there's something, maybe, let's see, because crossing it is a strength card in the upright. So there's something to do with ego going on for you. Like I feel maybe you are not valuing your own internal strength. And so you are not seeing the life, the healing, the sunlight, the nature, the serendipity, the spirit. You're not, but these are linked to the chakras, like grounding, sexuality, self-belief, self-esteem, love, and nature. Serendipity is like where things happen for a reason. Like the third, and linked to the third eye is yeah, spiritual synchronicities, and then spirit linking to spirit. So you might not feel your access to this. So maybe your big theme for the year ahead is to work on the chakras. Work on your, like, find chakra meditation music. You can find that, or work with them. You know, you can have such fun wearing different colors on different days and then focusing on the base chakra, focusing on sacral chakra, focusing on the solar plexus, focusing on the heart chakra, focusing on the third eye, and focusing on the crown chakra. So you can have fun using those colors, you know. But right now I feel maybe you're feeling a bit out of balance. And it's something to do with you not, maybe not valuing yourself enough, not seeing, you know, gentleness can be a powerful, powerful strength. We make the mistake of thinking that hardness is strength. It's not strength. And gentleness can be as strong, as strengthful as toughness. And gentleness is not the opposite of strength. It's a very look at that. It's a co-conspirator. So I think that you need to think about that. Think about what strength means to you and start honoring your strengths. Maybe that's what you need to do, is like a little bit of a self-analysis of what are my strengths? Where am I strong? Maybe it will come straight to you. What of your strengths are you not valuing? And then with the Queen of Wands, this is what you need to think about. That again is perhaps you're a fire sign. But I think you need to be thinking about, I think that you might be an artistic person, and maybe this is where your strength lies, because this is a fire sign too. This represents Leo. But perhaps you might not even be a fire sign, but have that nature, like an artistic nature, maybe, is what I'm thinking. And you need to think about that. I think you need to be doing like an inventory of what are your strengths, and then building them up by working on the chakras and just honoring your strengths, right? You've completed a cycle. That's your card in the past, the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. The cycles come to an end, and that's lovely. And maybe that's why you might be feeling like this. It's maybe what's happening is that you've completed a cycle, so you're at a new level now. Maybe you are moving on to a new job and a promotion, new course of study, or maybe you've moved to another level, whatever. And so you're feeling very new in it, and you're feeling a little bit unbalanced. And it's a quick fix, an easy fix. It's doing that inventory of your strengths, honoring your strengths, and maybe doing some chakra balancing. Beneath the surface, what you need to think about in the unconscious is this need. It says here, silence equals death. So this card is about fighting. In here, it's about protest. But I think, and it's about equality. So for you, I think that's an interesting one. What I wanted to immediately say was, it's about competition. So you need to be thinking about your where you compete and where you need to and don't need to compete. And I think you don't need to compete. Be in competition with others. It may be suggesting that you need to think about where you need to collaborate more. Maybe. But you know, in my reading that I did on the solstice, this came up as a theme about being the only person we need to compete with is ourselves. So I think that's really something you can think about, you know. And then with the Ace of Cups, this represents you, and it's in the reverse, and everyone has got this kind of version of this. The first two got it in that row. But I think for you, it's this is you. This is you. And I think it comes back to that. I think you're not honoring yourself enough. I really think you need to do a little check-in and start valuing yourself more. And I think it starts with doing this chakra work and looking at what are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? Do an honest look at that. Every one of us has weaknesses and every one of us has strengths. Your strengths, build them up. Your weaknesses, if they are interfering with you, say, okay, well, build that. Like, for example, I don't know how to fix a car. That can be seen as a weakness. Do I need to know how to fix a car? Do I want to? Do I have the time to? Or am I happy with my brilliance in other ways? And do I have an AA thing and I can just call an A? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Just do a nice, gentle inventory. In the near future, you get the 10 of Swords in the reverse. So I think this might be about letting go of all those fears. Maybe with doing your chakra work, you let go of those fears, those swords that are in your back, those imagined and real things that have hurt you. You are letting go of that along with the cycle you are. Maybe it feels like it hasn't, sometimes we come to an ending of a cycle, but there's residue. So maybe that's the residue and you're letting go more. What's around you is the Queen of Pentacles, and this is a card of abundance. And it could be that there is a Queen of Pentacles, someone of that nature, an earth sign, or someone that's very earthy around you that's playing an important role in your life. Could be a parent, an older sibling, someone that you look up to or that's been there for you. So if you need to lean on them, it could also be that when you start this healing, you attract to you this abundance and this feeling of the Queen of Pentacles. So you even could take on that persona. She's nurturing, present, abundant, confident, that kind of thing. So see what works, what feels right for you, and it could even be both. Your advice is to learn. Well, I was going to say cut through the crap. This is like an offer of clarity. Maybe I think this is saying trust in your intellect more. Yeah, I think that's what it's saying. Trust in your ability to say no, to be clear, to be honest, to say what you need to say to look after yourself. I think you need to be calling on that more. Saying no when no is no, that kind of energy. In the near future, you have the Hierophant in the reverse. So perhaps you will be letting go of something very significant that you had upheld as the word, some kind of structure, a system, you might be letting go of something that has oppressed in some way or made you feel oppressed. Relationship, a way of thinking, an institution. I think that's what's going on for you for the year. You're working towards that. I'd love to hear. Your theme for the year ahead is the Two of Swords, which in this deck of cards is very powerful. Like, that wolf could be friend or foe. But in fact, she has a back to the wolf. So maybe she knows that the wolf has got her back. And then here, there's wolves again, and there's these 10 swords, which you have in the near future here, right? So theme, and you have this in reverse. Again, it's in reverse. It's a big theme for you is letting go of past hurts. And, like this is usually the Two of Swords is undecided, is feeling blindfolded, is feeling can't make a decision because they feel blindfolded and trapped. this one is not trapped. This is a very empowered soul, a soul that's not feeling trapped, is able to use those swords if they need to. So maybe this theme of clarity and clear communication is a big thing for you for the year ahead. Sword type of communication, which is head communication, you know, like cutting through stuff. And then with the advice, your key advice for the year ahead is temperance. Keep trying to find your balance. I think it comes back to this ego thing, because, you know, you have that infinity symbol there as well. My puppies came to join for a while. So this is in the reverse. So I would say your theme for the year is keep on coming back to balance, but it's to do with ego and how you value yourself. It's about self-awareness. It's about knowing when to be like this and when to be more gentle with yourself and with others. So I think that's a key theme for you. When do you need to be firm with the lion? When do you need to be, well, this person is gentle with the lion. But maybe when do you need to be, when does the lion need to be protecting the maiden? And when does the maiden need to be taming the lion? I think that's your balance. When do you need passion and when do you need gentleness? It's like that. I think that's really lovely. So that's your advice for the year ahead. What's working for you is the Tower in reverse. Let me see. Okay, I feel like this could be saying that you've done a lot of building work. You've done a lot of the grounding work. Even if you don't see it, you've done a lot of grounding in this particular, whatever you're going into, you've done a lot of the grounding. So in a way, perhaps, yeah, I think there's no need to be afraid of that Tower moment, because I think you've done a lot of the building of the foundations. What could work against you is this poor little heart. Could be a tendency to feel sorry for yourself. It could be watching out for depression. And then I think that the chakra work becomes important, very, very important. Maybe that's what you should be doing throughout the year, you know. Yeah. So I just would say be careful of that, you know, just watch for heart when you need healing, when you need to call on a friend, when you need to lean on someone. Yeah. And then your mantra for the year ahead. Now you can think of one for yourself. Let me see what comes to mind, because what comes to mind is I move forward with confidence, or even moving forward with confidence. Yeah, that's something you can say over and over. I'm moving forward with confidence. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. So maybe that is your antidote for this. Whenever you feel afraid, you can call on that. And you know what? Your inventory. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? When we know something, we are able to deal with it, right? Okay, group 3, I'm going to leave it there. I send you lots of love. I hope this helps. Please share with others. Please give me feedback. Tell me how this feels for you. If you want a personal reading for yourself, we can do that. I do it very interactively. It's great fun. Did one for my brother today, and he loved it. And I use the tarot as tools for your self-growth, you know. And yeah, let's have fun. Let me know. And like I say, share with others. Give me a like. Share your feedback on in the comments. I'd love that. And I send you lots and lots of love. Bye. Welcome back. Group 4. Let's look at your year. Okay, let us get the those two at your theme. Your advice, main advice for the year, and that will be your what's working for you, what's working, could work against you, and your mantra. Okay, let us look at. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is the central. There's lots of energy, passion. I think you're going to be flying forward with something. You're going to be cutting through what needs to be cut through. You're going to jump through hoops. You're going to create what you need to create with clarity. You might have to work on a project that requires clear thinking. And it's something new beginning with something. And, you know, this Knight of Wands here doesn't rush in and out. I like that. And they have that eagle eye there, which matches this. It's like brilliant intellect, brilliant insight, foresight, because they have a higher perspective. This Knight is jolly, but they are not rushing. And they've got this anchor of this brilliant eagle. And there again, this working for you is this sharpness. Yeah. In the near past, in what you need to think about is something that hasn't ended. Something hasn't completed. You are working on a cycle, and maybe the cycle is part of your new year. So something is incomplete, but I'm not seeing it as a negative thing, you know. Maybe I'll get a clarifier for that. Let's see what you need to think about. Maybe think about what's not complete and if there are cycles that you need to complete. So we get the Five of Swords. So maybe there's some game playing that is still happening. You could be playing games. Others could be playing games with you. Just be aware of that. And, well, be very aware of it because it's something you need to think about. Where do you play games, or where are others playing games with you? Head games. So that's something that's not ended. Very interesting. In the near past, and perhaps it's these kind of games, because the Page of Cups here has all the power, it seems, to share or not the water. But this is not an antagonistic threesome. But it does feel like a threesome. So something like this has ended. Some kind of threesome that was maybe destructive. Doesn't have to, it could have been work partnerships where there was interference or power games, but there seems to be something there. And maybe it's not completely over, but it's something you can think about, because thinking about it gives you lessons for the future, right? And then the High Priest comes in your unconscious. So there's something going on about structures, about systems, about power, religious power, systems that have been seen as the right thing. There's something going on about that in your unconscious. And these systems, even if you've rejected them, might be having a bearing on how you think on this. Very interesting. That's deep. That's a 5 and that's a 5. So there's something to do with the Hierophant and that 5 of Swords. And, you know, I'm not even going to unpack it because I think it's going to be very individual for each of you. So think about that. I love it when there's a mystery like that, you know, because, so the thought here is where this destructive behavior of game playing, right? Could be you playing games on yourself, you playing games with others, others playing games with you. But that's definitely something you need to be thinking about, right? Then with the higher, and it's linked to this thing about systems and structures and institutions, like it could be university, it could be what you think is right and wrong because of religion. It could be religion itself, it could be marriage, it could be what expectations are of what is a marriage and what relationships are, you know, like this in the reverse could even talk about relationships, like it's a conundrum for me, because here there's a power dynamic, but it's not in a negative way. It's almost playful. And in the reverse, it might be like a revisioning about maybe having different ideas about relationships. And it's funny, I was chatting with my brother about that today. No, like I feel like so many of us have so much to learn about, including myself, about how relationships work, you know, without compromising our ideals. So there's something very deep going on here. And let me just look at the future card you have, because it seems to be like a little foursome there. The King of Cups, but the King of Cups in reverse. So yes, I think, no, so the King of Cups would be in the upright, very confident with love, because they know how to put up boundaries, blah, blah, blah. They know how to show love. They know how to reserve love when they need to. In the reverse, it can be withholding love. It can be playing games with love. It can be giving too much, giving too little, right? And so I think there's something here maybe to do with love and relationships, love and or relationships that's going on here for you. That's a cycle that's incomplete. But it seems very separate from these two. Look at the coloring in here, and look at the colors here. There's these bluey green hues, right? Although that one might have, but this is like orangey red. So I feel these are one thing, but there's this other, you know, everything affects each other. So it's almost like this is happening on the physical and intellectual level, and this is happening on the emotional, spiritual level, on the unconscious. But it's there for us to work on pleasantly, you know, even if it's not pleasant, but it's there as a pleasant thing that we can work on, because it can affect our other ways of relating, you know. How lovely. It's a lovely surprise, I think. Then you have the Chariot. You are moving forward. You are moving forward with the stars, shooting stars behind you. That's brilliant, group 4. So just go forward, you know. What's around you, I think, is the letting go of some kinds of addictive behavior. You know, I would normally see the devil in reverse in the negative, but in this card, the devil in the upright is definitely not my favorite cup of tea, and I'm a Capricorn. I ain't liking this. So, Mr. Devil, there's nothing about you that I like, I'm sorry to say, in this card. So in the reverse, you might be starting to exercise more. You might be less indulging less in partaking of the juices. Less, I don't know why I said that. But you are letting go of some negative patterns, and maybe they are to do with this. Just think about it. Your advice is the Ace of Coins. It is in the reverse, but it's your advice card. So it's beautiful. There's a new beginning, and I think that you need to be just embracing this new beginning. Don't be afraid. Let me get a card to clarify that. Can I find that one interesting? Wow, the High Priestess. Yeah, trust. You've got to trust that you are, whatever's going on in the physical is spiritually guided. That's what it feels like for me. I don't even need to say more. And then your future card is this beautiful Queen of Swords. Do you need anything more than this? This is your outcome. you become this Queen of Swords in this particular thing. You are able to speak your mind. Somebody else got this in a different position. You're honest, you're clear. And look, the Queen of Swords, oh no, I thought that was water, but it's mountains. There's a little bit of iciness about her and a bit of mystery. And you know who got it? The other group that got the High Priestess as well. So there's something about the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess working together. They have very similar energy for me. So it's like there again, your spiritual is working together with what's happening to you, or what you're doing on the physical and what is becoming of you in the physical. So you're doing this creative or passionate stuff here. You're healing aspects of yourself and the way your outlook, and you're rushing forward on your project when you're trusting that they are divinely guided, and something in the process happens to you. You become this Queen of Swords. Now, you could, for all intents and purposes, why did I even say that? But anyway, you could be a Queen of Coins. You could be a Queen of Cups. You might be strongest in that energy. You could be a queen, but you haven't mastered the energy of the Queen of Swords. And I think that's what you are working towards mastering. That's it. Beautiful. Now, let's look at the theme. Your theme for the year ahead, the Emperor and healing the heart. Wow. So there's something about you sitting in your masculine energy for the year ahead, drawing on your masculine energy, and it requires healing, constantly dealing with pain, dealing with confronting pain head on, not being afraid of dealing with the heart issues when they come up, and just drawing on your masculine energy, the positive masculine energy, to help you heal, trusting that you have that as your fallback always. So when something confronts with you, you sit in that power and you deal with it. You heal. You heal as this person, but you can go into your heart. You can do the emotional stuff, the caring stuff, the crying, whatever. But you're still in your divine masculine energy. And yeah, anyway, your advice for the year ahead: keep dangling, beloved. Keep dangling. Keep just opening yourself up to whatever presents to you. Keep seeing things from a different perspective. Keep being suspended. Keep letting go. That's your advice. What is working for you is the Ace of Wands in reverse. I think what it's saying is that willingness to keep being open to the offers as they come. Not being stuck. The offer must look like this. It's, oh, okay, it looked like that. Oh, maybe I misinterpreted. Oh, maybe it's this way. Oh, okay. That's a different one. Oh, right. It's like an energy of going with the flow, but going with the flow with how the offers present themselves to you. What might work against you is not standing up for yourself, not believing in yourself enough. Remember that. You are the Emperor. Yeah. And your mantra, this is the Six of Cups. Yeah, the one that comes to me, you can make up your own one. But what comes to me is, I honor my past. I honor my history. I honor my past. I honor my history. One of those, because this is a card of the past and of nostalgia. But you can make one up that feels right for you. It could be about, I'm willing to give and receive love, because those are cups. I give with a willing heart. I give with an easy heart. I give with ease. I give with love. Something like that. Okay, beloveds, I'm going to leave it there. I think that's a beautiful reading. I think all four have been lovely. I feel so optimistic about the year ahead for you. Please give me feedback. Please share with others. I really want to grow my channel. I'd love your comments. If you'd like a personal reading like this, I can do that for you. What else? Like, share, subscribe, all those things. And I send you lots of love, and I will be in touch again soon for the weekly reading. Lots of love to you. Bye.